Have you lost close friends throughout this process?
I have, yeah. There's a couple people who I thought were my friends, who I thought were really, really cool. I had nothing against them. And when my content started to blow up on social media, some of them had a great approach to it. And some of them were like, you go, Ken, like you keep going, keep grinding, stay locked in. I still talk to those guys. And then I had a couple guys who were like, you're a piece of shit. You're fucking pathetic for doing this. Go and get an apartment. Stop making a fool of yourself. You're embarrassing your family. I'm like, we'll see what my family thinks in 2 years. All right. I mean, I know that I'm right in the long run. So we'll see.
I feel
That's why I tell anyone who comments something hateful on my post, I'm just like, just wait. Or we'll see who ends up on top. Because I know where I'm going to land.
I feel like whenever you're doing something innovative or unique, you're going to get hate no matter what.
100%. But I love it.
You need it.
What they don't realize, what all the haters don't realize is that when you comment hateful shit on my post, it boosts the algorithm to people who want to see it, and then they become my followers.
Right.
So I would not have the base that I have right now if I had not been getting so much hate early on in the process. I post financial rage bait on purpose. I rage bait the fuck out of people. Like, this is day 212, going homeless with 3 cars, and everyone's like, you're a fucking piece of shit. I upset the whole middle class. The whole middle class comes after me in the comments.
That's wild. I mean, you're so open about your ups and downs. I think it just catches people off guard, right?
That's what I wanted to do. When I started on social media, I was like, I want to document every step of the process. I want it to be real. I don't want it to be like, here's my Lambo, here's my rented Rolex. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted to be like, okay, here's where I was at. Here's my losses, right? I had to just spend $1,800 to fix my BMW 1 month. And I had to pull out of crypto to do that.
You didn't have insurance?
I had insurance, but my deductible was $2,500.
Jeez.
And so I was like, well, I mean, might as well just fix it. It was my daily driver.
Right.
And so I had to come out of pocket with that. I had to take a massive loss on that. I had to sell XRP at $1.80.
Fuck.
I sold 1,800 of XRP at $1.80. I used to have 3,000 tokens. I had sold it and I couldn't buy back in time. Now I only have 2,500.
Bro, I'm going to teach you some. How's your credit score?
It's all right. That's a whole different part of the journey too. I have over 100,000, it's probably like $130,000 of debt on my credit report right now.
From what?
Cars.
Oh my God.
Cars,
so you financed all your cars.
Yeah. So it's cars, it's personal loans from credit consolidation, and it's credit debt from mistakes that I made years ago.
Got it.
Because I had a girlfriend like two and a half, almost 3 years ago now. And oh my God, I love to spoil her. I love to spoil her.
That was her love language gifts?
I bought her an iPhone 13. I went all out. But the thing is, at the time I was only making like $2-3 grand a month.
Jeez.
But I wanted to give her this lifestyle so bad because no one had ever given it to her. And I wanted to be that guy, but I just wasn't there yet myself. I hadn't built myself up enough. And so I maxed out all my credit cards. I took out a consolidation loan. I paid them all off. I maxed them out again. I took out another consolidation loan, paid them all off, and then maxed them out again. And then my bank was like, we're not giving you any more consolidation loans. And then the BMW, I had the BMW loan first. And then after the BMW loan, I got the Tesla thinking that I was going to be selling and exiting the BMW in the next month. I just had an overlap period where I needed a car. So I bought the next car without selling the last one. And then the BMW deal fell through.
Damn.
And now I'm stuck with a bunch of negative equity on all of my cars. So I can't exit them. And so that's why like my BMW is breaking down now to the point where it's costing me thousands of dollars a month in repairs, not including the payment. That's why I bought the Tesla Model Y.
Got it.
Is because I'm like, I need a daily driver that's not going to break. I just need, like, I'm trying to outrun my debts. I don't have a problem taking on more debt. I care about my debt to income ratio because I know my income's going to keep going up.
Makes sense.
So I'll pay off my debts at some point, but I care more about the DTI. And something I'm very proud of is even though I've taken on probably $40,000 of additional debt since I've been homeless, my debt to income has gone down every single month consistently.
Interesting. We need to get you on Caleb Hammer's show.
You know, everyone's telling me that. Bro. Everyone's telling me, it's like, you got to go on
You
Caleb
get
Hammer.
Millions of views.
They're tagging him in all of my videos. And then, what was his name? It was Jack.
Jack Graham's co-host.
Yeah,
Jack
Graham's
Selby.
yeah, Graham's co-host hit me up on Instagram and it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna message Caleb. Like, you need to go on his show."
Yeah. I'll put in a word too, so multiple
No,
points of contact.
Graham hit me up too. I was so hyped about that
That's sick.
because I've been watching Graham for a while now.
He's
it
an
was,
OG.
I know it was super nice to like. I had a quick conversation with him. It was crazy. It's crazy some of the people that have reached out to me. I never thought this would happen.
I love that, man.
Like I've been posting on social media for 2 years now. I wasn't expecting to blow up until after I got rich. Like I wasn't expecting people to watch the homeless grind.
Yeah. Well, I think people like the relatability and also they like your consistency. You post every day, right?
Yep. Every single day, pretty religiously. There's a couple days where I miss it, but I always go back and I make sure that I have each day documented at least.
Yeah, that'd be a game changer for you on that show, dude. I'll get you on there.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I asked about the credit because like there's credit cards that have 0% interest.
I've heard about that. Most of my debt is actually not credit cards though.
Okay.
So most of my credit card debt is going to be personal loans. And because I use Schools First Federal Credit Union, I actually have really good interest rates on those personal loans. Like I think one of them is like less than 10%.
Holy shit.
For like a $5,000 plus personal loan.
I don't think I'd ever do a personal loan again unless the interest was low.
I love personal loans because it adds to credit diversity. That's a big thing for me. Like I wanted to have a bunch of different types of credit accounts. And so I think I have 3 personal loans right now, but I made a rule for myself after I broke up with my ex. I said I would never take out a personal loan again unless it made me more money. That was my biggest thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I took out a few starting the pod and I probably wouldn't do it again because the ones I took were like 15 to 20%, which is hard to make money off of.
Yeah.
So unless you have like a really good deal or something.
You know, I almost took out a $50,000 loan from one of my previous coworkers. He wanted to give me a 50% interest rate.
Oh my God.
I should have taken it because I wanted to buy XRP with it in October of 2024.
Oh, so you actually would have made.
I would have made 300 grand.
Holy crap.
And I just would have given him $100,000 of it and I would have been left with 200,000 profit.
That would have been
I wish he would have taken that. He knows who he is. He knows who he is too.
That's nuts. Yeah, people have been streaming Ripple for years, but it's finally popping off. I feel like
the reason that I bought XRP was because of Ripple. It wasn't because of the token itself. Like I understand the role that Ripple plays in the cryptocurrency space with the cross-border transactions. And I know how like it's compliant with ISO 20022 and all of this stuff. But the real thing is Ripple, the company behind it. That company's dumping billions of dollars into that coin with marketing, with everything else. You see all these super knowledgeable crypto people talking about it. And I'm like, well, look, it has the hype. And if other people are putting billions of dollars into just the marketing side of it, not even including the coin itself, there's got to be something going on here. I just follow the money. And so that's why when XRP was at 50 cents and people were talking about its utility and what it's going to be doing, and I was just like, oh, I'm buying that. I am 100% buying that.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.